Oh, you're right. I could get my first piece down. Good point. Yeah. Because I still have titanium in my inventory, right? Yeah, just a little bit. What? What happened? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So, let me start by discussing the elephant in the room. I know you were promised daily videos. Unfortunately, that has not happened this week. It's been a lot of adjusting, a lot of trying to get my schedule on pace, a lot of trying to figure out just exactly how we're going to go about doing this. I think I've got a pretty good idea. I was previously working with Premiere CS6. I've recently switched over to the Creative Cloud version since it's more up to date, has a lot more support for the type of stuff I'm doing, and it's just a little bit easier to work with. But there's been some growing pains in picking that up. Hopefully, I've gotten to the point now where I can get through it fast enough to actually get these out at night. My plan is to stream, get the recording done, get the highlights made, get it all put together, have it render overnight, have it uploaded in the morning, and then I can publish it by afternoon from wherever I happen to be. Usually with just my phone is simple enough. But I do want to talk through what's been going on with the stream this week because it has been a very eventful week. My goal, as discussed a lot of times on the stream, is to get one thing done every day that I feel like is going to improve the broadcast. So usually my goal in these daily videos is going to be to report what that one thing was and how I went about doing it and whether or what kind of impact I expect it to make. With these are pretty basic ones because it's the whole process of getting the ball rolling for the stream. So I want to just kind of rapid fire through these. First one is a live schedule. Obviously, I've been going live in between 7 and 8 p.m. Eastern time. That's been the kind of fuzzy start time I stick to. I don't really want to put down a hard start time, but if I had to, which I do have to for a couple things, it's going to be 7:30 p.m. Eastern. But to avoid causing any confusion there, sometimes it'll be a little earlier, sometimes it'll be a bit later. I'm going to try to stick to that 7:30 time and not deviate too much. But as always, for updates, you can check the Discord, check Twitter, all that good stuff. Music work. I found that when going back through the VODs, I was finding that when I would do an intro, do an outro, take a break, or just whenever I would take a step back and be talking to the camera, the music, or rather the silence was kind of, I don't know, it grates on you a little bit. Maybe it's just me because I'm being forced to only listen to my own voice, but one way or another, I found some appropriate music to kind of mix in that doesn't interfere too much with what I'm talking about and doesn't overpower me. So we've got some good music going on the channel now for breaks and for the outro and all that stuff, as well as art. I've got a screen now that can actually sit behind me and I can just talk to the camera, enlarge my webcam just a little bit, and just directly talk one-on-one with people for times when there's a big lull in gameplay or there's a big or even a big event happening that I kind of want to pause the game, take a step back, and just talk through everybody with. Or if we're just talking to chat and having a good time, that's appropriate for that as well. Made some OBS adjustments. Obviously, I was doing a lot of streaming last winter. OBS was set up in a way that was conducive to the way I was streaming last winter, but not necessarily how it was now. So I've gone through, I've cleaned up a lot of scenes, I've cleaned up a lot of the old filters and stuff I used to have for Dark Souls, and mostly just went through and made it nice and easy to see what's going on, just hit the start streaming, and make it very streamlined for me. No pun intended. Streamlabs optimizations. So going back to streaming last winter, I turned on a thing that would allow viewers to basically choose a color for the light. I've got a light that rotates through colors. Often I forget to turn it on. Sometimes I don't. Most of the time, especially with Subnautica, it's just been a steady blue to kind of stick to the theme of the game. So that's been what that was for. It also made a lot of noise and was kind of, I don't know, distracting. I think distracting is the right way to put it. So I went ahead and disabled that. There's going to be a reward system. I think a reward system is a good thing to have, but we got to rework exactly what we're doing about that. Lighting adjustments is another one. I've just got a list here that I'm just shotgunning through. I've got these new LED lights that I can kind of dim and put where I need them. They're quite a bit less bulky than my old lights that had like a big umbrella setup and all sorts of craziness, but they're a lot easier to work with. They do make a little bit more of a reflection on my wall, which is kind of caused some problems with the green screen, but for the most part, I think I've got it working well. I think it works pretty nicely. There's a pretty obvious splotch if there's no active background behind me, but that splotch goes away super quick if there is, so I'm pretty happy with that. Chat engagement, I noticed that I would be reading chat, but I wasn't always responding to chat. I've tried to make a mental note, like get into the habit, get into the loop of whenever a message does come up to be sure I'm responding directly to that, or reading off the name, reading off the message, and then responding to it. Just basically making people feel like they are being heard, because I know a lot of people can do the same thing. They'll just kind of read the message and skim on, and as a viewer, it makes you feel like your message got overlooked. So I don't want to make people feel that way. I definitely want to run a community-based thing where people feel like we're having a back and forth conversation. So I feel like that's the best way to do it, is just kind of make that mental note that even though I read it, I also need to read it out loud or just respond to it in some situations, kind of depending on the chat. And the last thing is going to be the biggest one, and that is the giveaway we're running. So full transparency, because I mean that's what we're about here. Full transparency, this is essentially to make my life easier in the evenings with editing. I'm trying to offer a pretty substantial reward to those who stick around on the channel, take good clips of interesting events when they happen. That way all I have to do whenever the stream is over is find the best clip, stick it in the videos, find a couple more decent clips, make my whatever we're doing here, this vlog situation, and just push it online. Make it super easy to go through and get everything done. So what we're offering is $25 a week to the top clipper of that week. For more information on that, you can always visit the blog, visit Twitter, visit Discord. I've got information out in a ton of places for that. So if you're interested in taking part, by all means, take advantage of that and get yourself some monies. I figure it's a good way to compensate the community for taking a little bit of work off my shoulders. So we'll see how that goes. Either way, that giveaway is contingent on daily videos actually happening, so moving forward from this point onwards, we should see daily videos. I expect this vlog portion to be quite a bit shorter. I just wanted to shotgun through everything that had gone on this week and kind of give you guys an update as to where we are. We'll be starting tomorrow, daily videos. I believe it'll be day 10. Today was the unforgettable day 9, but we finished Subnautica. Hardcore run is over. I'm very happy about that. We can get into the meat and potatoes of what I really want to start doing with the show. But I'm very excited to continue rolling. I've got no signs of stopping. I honestly feel better this last week than I have in the last several months. So I don't see burnout setting in anytime soon. But if and when it does, because I'm sure there's not going to be a year of this without burnout. So when that does set in, we can kind of talk about how we're feeling with that and talk about I don't know, how you deal with it, I suppose, because it is something that we're eventually going to have to deal with. I have no delusions that we won't, but one way or another, we're going strong now. We're going to be firing up Dark Souls tomorrow, and we're going to be doing that for a long, long time. I truly believe in game consistency and schedule consistency, and if we can just keep those two things rolling, I think we'll have no problems. And obviously, consistent entertainment. You gotta be entertaining. That's the biggest thing, isn't it? Is being able to go on the camera, go on the game, and have some interesting stuff to say and interesting stuff to do. So we're gonna be rolling through NG Plus as hard as we can. We're gonna go as deep as we can go, and then we'll go from there. But one way or another, thank you folks for watching. Enjoy the upcoming clips, and I will see you tomorrow, November 13th, for day 10. Have a good one. So if you don't have the repulsion cannon, you just do this. Oh. So I guess you don't do that. I'm actually mad. Oh, hello. Hey, there's a reefback. You're not supposed to fuck with the reefbacks. These are your friends. Why'd you have to come at me like that? God damn, this is really far away for you to be doing that too. Say the word. Say the word, Sammy. Let's fight. Let's do this, big boy. I'm gonna ride you like a goddamn horse. Fuck you, nerd. Let me go. Ah! Hit him in the face. Shoot him with the grapples. Punch him. Punch him. Knock him out. Oh, God. Sammy, where'd you drop me?